One of my favorite albums of all time is Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits, and I'm not alone in that regard because it sold a stupendous amount of copies. In fact, most people went out to buy a CD player in order to listen to Brothers in Arms on compact discs. Yeah, it was one of the first million sellers on the then new format, and it spent something like 300 weeks on the British and Dutch album charts. Yeah, the acclaim is justified. It is a great album and it deserved its accolades and success. I first picked it up on vinyl in the year 2001. This was my copy. The price is still on there. 275 Belgian francs, which is something like €7 or $1. Yeah, I only learned later in life that most of the songs on here are in fact shortened or abridged because they couldn't fit all the songs on one vinyl record. Masterpiece of an album, loved it. This was my only copy for many years. Then my wife picked up the normal compact disc, also from 1985, in a Dutch record store for €1 when we were in the Netherlands and we saw a thrift shop. Then a few years ago for Christmas, from my mother-in-law, I got the 20th anniversary Super Audio CD. From my good friend Thomas, 16-bit Jim, I picked up the 8-inch CD video. So this is sort of like a small laser disc. Sadly, mine's got rot. So my favorite track, Brothers in Arms, won't play anymore. Well, it will play, but you can hear the deteriorating audio quality, and you can see the speckles and the spicks on the picture quality. So it's still playable, but it's going the way of the dodo. Cool format though. It's like one of my only 8-inch laser discs. And then also a few years ago I picked up Dire Straits The Videos. This is a full-size laser disc, but the real reason we're talking about Brothers in Arms today is Paul Sinclair of SuperDeluxeEdition. If you remember last year's video on Wham, Fantastic and Make It Big, Paul Sinclair, a British chap from SuperDeluxeEdition.com, great website, he's releasing or he's having sort of an ongoing series of surround audio Blu-rays, Blu-ray audio. And this month, May 2025, marks the release of Brothers in Arms on Blu-ray audio, holding the music in your hands. What's included? The original 85 vinyl version stereo mix, the original 85 CD version stereo mix, and then there's a 2005 DTS HD 5.1 mix and a 2022 Dolby Atmos mix. But the most attractive proposition of this package is the 2022 Dolby Atmos instrumental mix. Yes, you get to hear the supremely excellent songs instrumentally, so without Mark Knopfler's vocals. Now I do love the vocals, of course, but this instrumental mix is ideal for parties. Like when you're having a party, people want to talk, people don't want to be disrupted by the music. You can just have Brothers in Arms on the background, instrumental version. Lovely, it's great. It's the treat, the highlight of this package. Now sadly, I don't have a Dolby Atmos setup. I don't even have a 5.1 surround. I can only hear the stereo mixes, but still the difference is noticeable. It sounds amazing. This Blu-ray audio is recommended. I think it's £25 on Super Deluxe Edition. This is not an ad, by the way. I paid my £25, but yeah, recommended, really recommended. Now, for the purpose of this video, I thought it would be nice to compare one song from Brothers in Arms. This won't be like my video comparison videos because, well, audio is always a different beast. You can't really put your finger on what you like, what you hear, what your ears will pick up. But we can see some general differences, and we can at least come to some general conclusions. This will always be taken with a grain of salt. Whatever you like, even if you like the MP3 download, take your pick. I'm not saying anything. This is just my personal opinion on Brothers in Arms across some formats. So in addition to the vinyl CD, Super Audio CD and Laserdisc versions I already had, for the purpose of this video I picked up the cassette tape, also from 85, the VHS, and even the beta. Now, sadly, my dad's beta is under repair. It's not working at the moment, so I can't capture any beta footage, but this was just like a €2 or €3 tape, and well, beta is always cool. Too bad they used a standard VHS case, but yeah, a nice addition to the beta collection. Now the VHS though gave me quite some headaches. Turned out to be, this is, as you can see, Le Clip. It's a French tape, and as you may recall, in the 80s and the 90s, the French had their own version. They did not have NTSC, they did not have PAL, they had SECAM, Séquence Couleur à Mémoire, something like that. And to the best of my recollection, SECAM was always compatible with PAL, so I tried to capture the tape with my PAL VHS player, but it only came out in black and white. So there was some conversion troubles going on with the PAL to SECAM or the SECAM to PAL. I had to use 2 or 3 VHS players to finally get color footage, but it worked. So a lot of effort for the 10 viewers out there that'll see this video. I wanted to compare Brothers in Arms, my favorite song off of the album, but as stated before, the 8-inch Laserdisc has rot, so I thought it would only be fair if I could compare a song that at least sounded good on all formats. So I just chose the opening track, So Far Away. Here we go.
far away from me. Here I am again in this mean old town, and you're so far away from me. Here I am again in this mean old town, and you're so far away from me. Here I am again in this mean old town, and you're so far away from me.
So a few observations. Laserdisc sounds a lot better than the Secam tape, which was to be expected, but still quite cool. I don't hear a real difference between the 8-inch and the 12-inch Laserdisc, and I'd say that the picture quality is more or less the same, just like splitting hairs. Vinyl version sounds great, CD version sounds great, cassette tape sounds a little muffled, a little underwhelming, but the biggest surprise to me was the Super Audio CD. That one's clipped. Remember from the early 2000s, the loudness wars, studios, record companies pushing for an increasing volume where you tended to lose a lot of information because just the sound was distorted. It's in yellow, it's in the red, but in this case it's in yellow. It's much too loud. It still sounds good, it still sounds acceptable. Now if we take a look at the new Blu-ray audio from Paul Sinclair from Super Deluxe Edition, I'd say all 5 streams sound great. By the way, of course, you're just hearing the stereo versions because my YouTube video is not Atmos encoded, is not DTS encoded, it's just the 5 stereo mixes, left and right. But as you can see, the DTS HD mix is significantly louder, but not as loud, not as overclipped, not as distorted as the Super Audio CD version from the same year, also from 2005. So in this case, I'd go with the DTS version. And of course, I love the instrumental one. Great, you can't compare it because this is the only one where you don't hear Mark Knopfler's vocals, but it's a great, great mix. This is done by Guy Fletcher, the keyboard player from the band, the original keyboard player, and he knows his stuff. Guy is the man, or the guy. So in closing, there's not really a version I can truly recommend. Even the Super Audio CD version sounds great, even though I'm not a fan of the distortion. There's not a single one that sounds wretched or crappy. So if you have your original vinyl, if you have your original CD, just be happy and keep that. You don't need to pick up anything new. But if you like your variation, if you like 5 distinct versions all on one disc for a great price, Blu-ray audio, yeah, what a great invention. Love it. Brothers in Arms. What it comes down to is one of the best albums of all time. It's 8 excellent tracks out of 9. I'm just not too fond of One World. But yeah, I mean, I can't even write a single song, so I would be honored if I could have written One World. But So Far Away, Money for Nothing, Walk of Life, Why Worry, The Man's Too Strong, Brothers in Arms, Your Latest Trick. So good. So good. Thank you, Mr. Knopfler. And thank you, Mr. Sinclair, for this excellent Blu-ray audio.